Hi everybody, JudgeGudge here, and just want to do a quick update and apology to everyone for not being around for the last month or so. I'm really busy with Christmas. I've got 3 kids and all that sort of stuff, so that was all really hectic and busy. And then I've had some other stuff and work and things like that afterwards, and I've been ill in the last week or so. And I've just got nothing done, and so I've had nothing to show, and my apologies. I've also been really bad at getting back, responding to comments and PMs, so apologies if you've sent me a message. I do read them all. As soon as I get a message, it comes into my BlackBerry, I read it straight away. I've just been really bad at responding. So I am going to go back through everything and respond to those people who need a response. So yeah, my apologies about that. Now, in all that comments and questions and stuff, there have been a couple of things which are really sort of simple stuff that I thought I'd just go over in this video, which is just a couple of questions I get asked, like what paints do I use, what brushes do I use, that sort of thing. So I have a large collection of brushes, of which the high quality ones are Winsor & Newton Series 7 brushes, and then the rest are just a mixture of cheap brushes I've picked up from all sorts of places, which I use for all sorts of different tasks. I have a lot of just cheap brushes I've picked up from my local cheap store. I think these are like a pack of 5 for like £2 or something, and they're just general abuse brushes for dry brushing bases, applying large amounts of wash, that sort of thing. Cheap brushes, can't get enough of them. But all my detail work and painting services, that's usually a Winsor & Newton Series 7 brush. But as long as it's natural bristles, Klinsky Sable, then it's a good quality brush. You can't go wrong with that. I know there are some other brands out there other guys use, and I'm sure that they'll be equally as good, because it's the quality of the bristles. So if you've got the Sable brushes, then you'll notice a big difference over your artificial nylon brushes, which, like I say, I do have, but I tend to use those for dry brushing and general abuse work. As for paints, I use Vallejo and GW because that's what I can get hold of. I've no huge preference between the two. I mean, I'm quite happy to work with either. It's purely down to the actual colour. If I want a specific colour, then I will use that pretty much. So, like I say, I have GW paints, which I have in these snazzy little dropper bottles, which everybody asks about. The dropper bottles are bought empty from Maelstrom Games. You can, I assume, get them anywhere, eBay, wherever. They're not going to be hard to get hold of. And then I pour the paint in from the GW pot, and then I peel the label off and just stick it on, because it peels off and it's still nice and sticky and sticks to the bottle perfectly. And that's how I get my GW paints, in dropper bottles. But so I use those. I use Game Colour, the Game Colour Extra Opaque for base coats. They're nice. They're very much like the foundation paints. Model Air for metallics. They are really nice. Those are really nice paints. If you want metallic paints, then they're the paints to get. Unless you're looking at dealing with some alcohol-based metallics, they are really nice. But half the time I just can't be bothered with all the thinners and stuff, so I don't bother. I tend to just stick to the Model S. And then I have Panzer Races, because my local module store stocks Panzer Races, so I have quite a few of those. Plus, there's slightly different colours. Like I say, what makes me buy a paint is not the name on it, not the brand or anything like that. It's the colour. I'll have a look at the bottle. If I like the colour, I'll buy the paint. We'll see what it's like afterwards. So yeah, so Panzer Races, they have some really nice ones. This is a Tail Light Red, which is a really nice dark red. I've not been able to find anything similar anywhere else, so I like that paint. That's my paint for dark red. And then, yeah, my paint for highlighting red is Vermilion from Model Colour. Again, I've not found a paint similar to that in any other range, so that's what I use. I love that. So that's it, basically. GW and any of the Vallejo paints are basically what I use. I have, over the Christmas period, got a new set of Vallejo model colour paints. So these are all sorts of different colours in there. So I'm looking forward to getting cracking on some stuff and seeing what I can come up with those. I like using the model colours because the palette is slightly different to the GW one, and the GW palette is what everyone expects when they see a miniature. If you see an Ultramarine or a Blood Angel, you're used to seeing the GW paints on it, so you're used to that palette. And so I like to use the Vallejo ones because they're slightly different, and it just makes the model look a little different, and that's just my personal preference. Yeah, like I say, I still have GW paints and I still use them. You know, sometimes I may base coat with a Vallejo paint and then highlight with a GW paint. I may base coat with a GW paint and highlight with a Vallejo paint. It's just what I feel like at the time. I'm not a hugely organised person with you know, oh, I must use this paint and then that paint on top. I'm very much more, if I think it feels right, then I go with it, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. So I buy paints purely on their colour, which I think surely is how paint should be bought. So yeah, so those are the paints I use and the brushes I use. Another question I got was about tutorials and the possibility of doing some longer tutorials, some beginning to end Space Marine tutorials. I think is the main sort of thing I think people want to see. I prefer to do technique-based tutorials. One, they're shorter to film and edit, so you can do them quicker. And two, I just generally think if you know how to do stuff, then that applies to everything. The way I would paint a Ultramarine is no different to the way I would paint a Blood Angel. I would just use red paint or blue paint. The basic techniques are all the same. So yeah, once you learn the techniques, it's just repetition and practice that makes you better. But I'm quite happy to do some tutorials. I'm quite happy because I've never painted a Blood Angel before. I only painted my first Ultramarine the other week, so yeah, I quite like the idea of doing some beginning to end tutorials to paint some stuff I've never really painted before. That's always good fun. So yeah, so I am looking into doing some of those. Whether they'll be real time or whether I'll stick to the speeding up that I do on my present tutorials, I do that because if you watch me paint in real time, it will be really, really boring. I am a slow painter. It will not be fun watching me paint in real time. So I speed it up. That way you see every stroke I put on the model. I don't cut anything out. Yeah, you see me base coat it, you see me put shadows in, you see me apply highlights, you see it all. You just see most of it at high speed. I try to keep 30 seconds, 45 seconds of each section when a technique changes or a colour changes, so you can see what I'm doing in real time, and then I just speed it up because it's the same. I'm doing exactly the same thing, I'm just doing it to another part of the model. So I will probably carry on doing that because I just think it would take too long to watch me paint otherwise, and people would die of boredom and starvation if they watch me paint in real time. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. But hey, if you don't like the speeding up thing, let me know. You know, I've no proof that anyone likes it. Any more than that's just the way I think. Yeah, I would like to watch a tutorial, and I'm quite happy with that. But if you're not, let me know. If you want to see some specific tutorials, let me know as well. I'm going to try and compile a list. I've got a little notebook. I'm going to start writing things down because I'm a bit disorganised, and I think it's about time I got a little bit more organised and started writing things down, and then try and work through what people want over the course of the next year, and try and give you guys what you want to see. So yeah, so that's about it. So a big thank you for subscribing, watching all my videos and all that sort of stuff, and I'm looking forward to this year and getting some more videos up. Also, if you haven't by now heard of the Orc Scars, please go to Master of the Orc Course site. I'll leave a link in the description. If you haven't voted yet, and if you do know what it's all about, then please go vote. It's really simple. You just got to shoot them an email, category name, category name, category name, category name. I was going to do a really clever thing about here. I'm going to send my nominations in now. I'm going to send in my vote now, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to leave it recording so you can do yours. However, this is the second time I'm going to record this because the first one didn't record with any sound. So I've already sent mine in. So send yours in. Yeah. If you don't know anything about it, it's voting for the videos we like and letting the community know who we really appreciate, and we want them to know that. And it's a way of winning stuff. There's free stuff to win for voting as well as for winning categories. There is stuff to be won. Go check out Master of the Warp Core. Really nice guy, and this is a great contest. So go check him out. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.